Welcome to episode 3 of season 2 of
Savage Discourse. We're gonna be demonetized for that.
Oh, we better. Oh, we're gonna lose our 7 cents.
We are.
You know, I'm not. I've been relying on that for a while to pay my bills.
I'm gonna have to get a job now.
Oh yeah, you've been living on royalties from our condom sales.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, it doesn't feel very royal-like.
Stimulating.
Yeah. Are you? You're already.
Oh my god, dude! Listen, we need to set up studio rules, and one of them has to be a sterilized environment because this environment is just rife with munchable items.
Sorry, I brought all this stuff in here.
You did this to me.
I didn't bring any of this in here. I brought the wine.
The wine.
Which, if you were following along at home,
Jizz.
Jizz
Me. Thank you.
We are sipping on the finest of red box wine.
I'm pretty sure that they sell it in rectangles in other places, and that changes the flavor profile.
What are we drinking out of?
A square. Actually, a square prism. Which is a square.
Wow.
Actually, a box is a square prism.
Interesting. So it's box wine?
Yeah.
Well, look at that.
But if you
We're
get
drinking red box wine.
if you get it in a triangle, it tastes different.
Pyramid wine.
I've heard that dodecahedron wine is actually quite sublime.
Sublime wine. All right, stop eating.
I'm gonna try, Kyle. I'm gonna really.
You're gonna
fucking
close
try.
that Oreo flap and turn it around.
That's literally what I had to do.
And now you're already opening it.
No,
again.
I
Leave it
was
alone.
just you commented on it, so I had to get it.
I'm gonna take away your stimulant.
Okay.
All right. Hey everyone. How's it going?
Welcome back. This is episode 3 of season 2 of Savage Discourse, and I'm John.
Kyle.
And we're here to talk to you.
I'm glad you're keeping track.
Somebody has to.
Yeah, somebody does.
Technically, I guess this would be like episode 27 or.
We don't need to get into all that.
Yeah, that people who like do their episodes as one giant progression of content are they must just be so well paid and have a Spotify contract.
That's true. Rojogan.
That's my brother.
Rojogan was my father.
Rowie Joey.
So what's been up with you this week? What have you been up to?
Oh man, I had a really intense conversation with my coworkers today about my awkward, cringy dating past.
Wait, what?
Okay,
How far back we talking?
Like 14.
Oh, that's really far back.
Dude, do you want to hear? Do you want to hear a story about the? Okay, let me take a step back. We can go into this. This has been a hellish week. So I work in a clinic for children with autism, and it's like from ages like 2 up to like 22. And I've said this. I say this a lot at the clinic, but most of the time it feels like we're just working at like a special education center. Like we're just helping, unique and idiosyncratic kids, and they're cute and they're funny and quirky, and sometimes they have these behavioral issues. But it feels like that. This week it felt like we were at a fucking behavior center. Like I can't talk about it due to HIPAA and protected health information, but let's just say it was a very shitty week.
Mm-hmm.
Emphasis on the human feces.
Were they slinging it?
No.
Oh.
But they shouldn't have been pooping on the carpet.
Oh. John, put it down. Put down the Frito.
You didn't say it.
Show me your hands.
Show boy, you're high.
Dude, I've had a shitty week too, but it's nothing that like I can't really pinpoint one thing. It's been a whole lot of just bullshit at work. Just a lot of having to do a whole lot of stuff and then not being able to actually do it and have to.
You have to, relying on other people is kind of difficult. I say that I have the amazing team I work with is really great, but I imagine in your case it probably does not. It's not that way.
Well, there's just no sense of like, so it's like you get like a whole list of work to do. Let's say you have like five tickets to do for the day. And you go to the first one, and on this ticket, there's like 14 things you need to locate. Okay. So you get 12 done. You hook on to the 13th one, and it just doesn't work. And that happens almost every single ticket. And for that, you have to do a whole bunch of extra paperwork, call the contractor, tell him he can't dig. He gets pissy at you. Probably is going to come dig anyway. And then you send it to someone else to do the work.
That
and then
sounds amazing.
You spend the first 2 hours of your day doing this, and then it just gets taken away, and it looks like you haven't done anything.
That's booty.
And that has been my whole week. And then I had to mark an entire street yesterday, which was 22 houses. That was real fun.
I need to mark their sewage lines.
That's not what I do.
You looked at me with such prideful vengeance. That's not that's not what I do.
We're actually the highest level of utility locators.
Talk into your fucking mic the right way, Kyle.
Like this?
All right.
Is it like this?
From now on, this show is just going to be called Discourse. It's just going to be me on my throne.
Wow. It's going to just be a John monologue, a Johnologue.
Jonologue.
Oh, if you ever go on a solo act, you can call it the Johnologue.
Ooh.
Put down the Oreo, John.
She's put a crisp. This isn't even a full Oreo. It's like a third. It's more like a quarter.
It's going to make the crunch much better in the mic. There you go.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, work has been, but I have an amazing team, and we all are very dedicated. But my week took a turn for the shitty, unexpectedly. And it's funny how when it rains, it pours, and
Shit.
Well, yeah, and feces and urine and bowel and semen, but it's like, when it's never just one individual client having an issue. It always turns into an entire clinic-wide thing where like all the kids are having issues, and it's. I think it's a water thing in Indiana.
Oh, your clinic is in Indiana, isn't it?
See,
well, that makes sense. I guess you go where people need to be healed.
Mm-hmm. The beauty, well, not the beauty, the unique statistical probability is that we are going to be always in need because prevalence rates of different disorders, especially autism, continue to rise. So, it's nice to know we have job security because our genome continues to have frailties and unexplained mutations.
Well, hell yeah, brother.
Well, hell yeah, brother.
Yo, here's something for you. It's in your field. Maybe you'll be able to answer. Can you develop dyslexia as an adult?
I need more information.
That's all. Just answer.
Well, technically, yes. You can have an acquired or traumatic brain injury. You can have a tumor. You can, have a part of your brain removed and have to relearn how to talk. But not in terms of like being able to read left to right in our English orthography and then changing, that doesn't seem likely unless you develop like some type of global neurological disorder.
All right, I think I'm just like going blind then. I think I'm just losing eyesight.
What? Oh, okay, cool. I think it's just male pattern blindness.
Yeah. It's my right eye specifically. I've noticed things are more blurry lately. Yeah.
I go through that, but when that happened last time, it turned out to be shingles.
What?
And it felt like somebody was using an ice pick against the back of my retina.
Oh. Well, you're a little more dramatic than me.
Okay, you don't know what it's like to be in my eye.
You don't. Nobody knows what it's like.
Nobody knows what it's like to have an iris, to have a virus in the back of your eye.
What a banger.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I might need glasses.
Oh, you'd be really. You should get those big like John Goodman from The Big Lebowski glasses.
Oh, I'd do it.
I know you would, girl.
Dude, I'd do anything.
Like live in a cardboard box or a dumpster with Wi-Fi.
Yeah, dude. I'd do anything for no reason.
Yo, dude, I'm crazy, but I'm not, though. I'll just do it. I don't care about nothing.
I'm like Nike without the corporate bullshit.
People are like, why don't you? And I do. Yeah, we should probably talk about that. What is that compulsion to do ostensibly on the outside, meaningless, gainless tasks that don't award you any accolades or anything, don't better or worsen your life.
What?
You heard me.
What do you mean? Don't better or worsen my life? Like what? Give me an example.
I can't think of anything. You just said you do things.
Yeah, I do things. But, I mean, it's going to better it in some way. Give me an example.
Well, I don't know. I think there's a net positive change that's possible, and there's also a net negative change.
Well, I'm not sitting here just doing stuff that's harming me for no reason.
Yeah.
That would be a problem.
Well, we basically went to the store and did that to ourselves to set ourselves up to do that now.
You mean with all the shit you're eating and I'm not?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
I am being
Mr.
really
High
bad.
and Mighty.
I am really being really bad right now, aren't I, John?
Yeah, bad. Yes.
You are a bad man. No, I mean, if you think about the stuff I'm talking about, like, oh, I live in a cardboard box or something, first of all, it'd be a fun story, right?
Yeah, but at what cost to your sanity and quality of life?
You can't, you don't think you could, do you think really taking away your entertainment and your phone, and first of all, I already said Wi-Fi would be included in this box, but even if not, you've got
a Wi-Fi somehow you've got a cardboard box that generates a Wi-Fi signal, but you don't have any devices.
I mean, I don't know, we'll iron out the details, but
Okay.
You think that your quality of life would suffer so much that it would make lasting damage if you lost your electronics for a month?
No, actually, I've thought about that a lot. I actually have thought about doing like a tech, what's it called?
Dopamine detox.
Yeah, like a tech detox.
It works really well.
I think that would literally I've thought about that a lot.
It
like
literally resets
like
your
a
brain.
month. Yeah, how long does it take? A month or
No, just honestly, 24 hours makes a big difference. But the ideal thing to do, the most practical thing would do to be like on a Friday when you get home from work, you dopamine detox until Monday when you go into work. That's a good solid time. But that means like no entertainment. Honestly, you should avoid like socializing and stuff too. It's all mostly
it's not just technology. It's everything.
reading. Shouldn't read, like you should literally.
Oh, I can't. Okay. So what do you do? Just meditate and eat?
Yeah, you don't have to eat. You can fast.
You don't have to meet.
Is
that a Freudian slip?
Yeah, I mean it's really good for you. It makes you really enjoy everything when you come back.
I think that's true, but I also like when you think about our. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm over here just like
You are
smacking my lips. Hold on, I must take a pull from the wine bladder. There's better. I feel like even our ancestors or even like previous generations didn't totally remove them. Now, life was a dire, drastic, terrible, dangerous time, and but I feel like they didn't do something as drastic as that. That'd be like even like teetotalers, like who didn't do alcohol, and they just had dopamine
because they didn't have to. We are bombarded with dopamine. We are the first group of people that are stimulated 24/7.
That is a complete. That's so obvious.
No one's ever needed to detox before. No one's ever been like, life is so good all the time that I'm depressed. Because that is the current reality of our situation.
Damn, I've never thought of it that way. That makes total sense. Well, things are the exact same as they've always been.
I don't understand.
That's conservative mindset. Things should be the way they used to be when people lived to the ripe old age of died-given child.
Oh, yeah, I got to show you a banger of a meme.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, I'll show you. It's not appropriate.
Thanks for bringing that up.
It's not appropriate for the cast.
for the show, for the telly. So there I was 14 with my first girl.
Mm-hmm.
It only took me 15 minutes to get back to where I was. You can't look forward if you're always looking back. That's why you gotta talk fast, and you got
14 with your first girl.
So I was a very uncomfortable, awkward child.
I've seen the pictures.
No, you have. Yeah, well, maybe you have. You don't
No,
think
I
you
have.
didn't see pictures of me when I was like 13, 14, and all I wore, I combed my hair in the middle, and I gelled it, and I wore Hawaiian shirts every day. Like literally, I thought it was like a ska punk thing to do, and I was like, yeah, it's cool, it's whatever. Makes me seem like a cool guy.
No wonder you went emo.
Dude, you could have heard me changing gears, dude. You could have heard the gears change. But so there was this girl named Danielle Steele who apparently is an author now. Now it's not the same woman, but there is somebody by that same name.
Okay.
So she got took a liking to me, and as kids are wont to do, she followed me around the 7th grade end of year dance and took pictures of me and asked to dance. Now back then, I was not the spry old feathered chicken you see before you now. I was a young, hairless ball of beaky, flappy insecurity and awkwardness. And she came up to asked me to dance, and I was like, sure, that's cool. And my hands immediately started firing fire hose sweat, just like
Mom spaghetti.
But dude, I was dropping spagooter out of every orifice in my body. And so anyway, we did our dance, and then she was like, I really like you. And I was like, oh. And so that was like the day before. So the next day, we go to the Science Museum. Quit rubbing the mic on your fucking beard.
What are you talking about?
Hobo.
What the fuck
Christ.
do you mean?
Oh, you're over there scrubbing your beard.
Quit making shit up and get back to your story.
So, yeah. Oh, you cocksucker. They're scrubbing your mic. I hope it picks the sound up on the audio.
There's
And
a
it's just like...
couple blips there.
So, anyway, she comes up to me, takes a bunch of pictures of me. It's really weird. But honestly, back then, I kind of liked attention from anybody, but I was also really uncomfortable with it. And so back then, I was in band, and I had the very rich and genuine pleasure of being a trombone player. So... let me just ask you a question. So there were 4 seats, and those seats were arranged by talent and skill and prowess with the bone. And number 1 is top shelf, and 4 is like, why are you even in band? Guess which chair I was.
There were 4 chairs.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Were you 5th?
Yeah. I was like in 5th chair. There was always a kid absent, and I wasn't allowed to sit in the empty chair.
They were like, this is in case he shows up later.
Exactly. Dude, I was so bad that they were like, yeah, just, you know what, just go ahead and warm that up for that. Just leave that there. Like, put the songbook there for that
He
guy.
doesn't really bone. That's John. He don't bone.
I was just like, burr, 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 burr. And so anyway, they do this incredible farce for like middle school, pre-high school kids where they take you to a music competition and you play solo and with a group. And the school I was in is like a division. Like there's 3 divisions. I think we were the bottom of the division list.
Damn.
And so we go there and you play a song like by yourself in front of like a panel of middle school expert sound or whoever they are, like conductors. Like they're like these old people that are listening to middle schoolers bang out hot cross buns on a trombone. And so I go in there and I fucking just God damn my way through. Just like, you know. And so then we do the group thing, and I told a joke. This is a sub story, but I thought it was really funny. So I was there. I was 5th out of 4 chairs. And I was sitting there, and we had been sitting so long waiting for our performance to begin that I leaned over to the guy, and he's like, oh, my butt hurts. And I leaned over, and I hit him with this sly piece of wisdom and joke and humor beyond my age. I was like, hey, I need a new butt. And he was like, what? And I was like, mine has a crack in it. And he was like, dude, get ready to play. And I was like, oh.
Dude, pick up your fucking bone.
Dude, why are you boneless? Pick up your bone.
Shouldn't you be pre-tuning that bone?
Tuning?
Oh, this one's all out of whack.
So
I need to tune this one to drop D.
Just fucking spitting into the mouthpiece. So we did that thing, and we had literally been there. Like we got there on the we rode the bus in at like 9 a.m. We left at 9 p.m. So while I was there throughout the day, that girl, that mysterious lady of mine, Ended up, we would see each other and we go do our own thing. So on the way home, she sat next to me in the seat, and like back, I was really uncomfortable because I didn't know how to be around girls. And then all the guys in the bus were like, "Hey, John, Danielle wants to sit with you," and I was like, "Oh man, come on, I don't want to do that. I just want to sit and play Pokemon out the window." Like I just, I was like pretending to play Pokemon,
like you do now.
Shut up. And so I. Well, back then I like actually pretended that I was like playing Pokemon like through the car. Like I remember playing with this kid named Andrew Singleton who lived at the end of my block. And every morning on the way to like ninth grade, I'm just kidding, it was like fourth grade, third or fourth grade, we would play Pokemon and we would like role play and pretend like we were catching Pokemon. And like, actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if I've ever shared this with another living soul. Here we go. This is gonna be a lot of cringe.
All right,
but. So he and I pretended that we would catch Pokemon, and we were both young burgeoning boys who were experiencing the loin inflaming passions of discovering the blossoming the boobies of the other girls. And so to put it bluntly, and so we would be there, and so like we would pretend that like the other characters were having sex with us by like, we'd be like, "Oh no, you tried to catch that Pokemon," but we called it pink stuff. And like if you got sprayed with pink stuff. So here's what I think was happening when I analyze it from like a 32-year-old mindset. I think that we wanted to say that we were having sex with these hot anime characters that we were into, but we also had no idea how to have sex, and we didn't know what went where and what was supposed to happen. So we invented this like procedure where like, "Oh, you opened a bottle of Pokeball, but it had pink stuff. You got knocked out." And the assumption, nudge, nudge, was that you were getting fondled by a hot anime chick. And so we would do that and be like, "Oh no, Andrew, don't get hit by the pink stuff." And he'd be like, "Oh, Jesse from Team Rocket got you." And I would like pretend to like slump over in my seat and just like take the, get the touching.
Are you talking about like a...
You're talking to your mic.
I am. Are you talking about like the Game Boy, or are you talking about like card Pokemon?
I'm talking about like the TV show, and we would just pretend like we were pretend playing.
Oh, so you were pretend playing Pokemon and pretending within that things that happened in that universe were matching sexual things.
We were just pretending.
I know. I'm saying that's... Why don't you just pretend you're having sex?
Because we had no idea how to have sex. So in our minds, like they were having sex with us. We were not initiating sex. Like they wanted it with us
the pink stuff from the ball.
Yeah.
Dope.
Like it's like a spray and it knocks you out.
Okay.
And then during that time, you wake up and you assume the assumption
you've been sexed.
you got sexed by these anime characters.
Man, I'm glad that's not how intimacy works.
I mean,
well, not anymore, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. So, anyway, that's a sub story that just popped into my head.
Well, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. I have a lot of weirdness in my life, and so, what the fuck did you say?
I said I don't know.
The fuck did you say?
I didn't hear you.
That's what I thought you said. Okay, so anyway, there I am on the bus next to this girl, Danielle Steele. By the way, she was quite a bit heftier than I was. Quite a bit. Oh my God, what are you laughing about?
Nothing.
Whoa. And so we were on the bus, and she was like trying to hold my hand, or had my hand on my lap, and like, dude, like 13-year-old John was like, dude, it was tent popping season, dude. I was like violently nervous, fucking fire hosing sweat out of my hands, beads sweat on my brow. I am like pitching a 90-degree hard isosceles triangle in my pants, in my fucking slack khakis that I was wearing for the competition. Thankfully, I don't think she noticed my right angle. And anyway, I remember sitting there, and she said my name, and I think that like she wanted me to lean over and take the lead, which is like hilarious because I was a newborn babe in a neurosurgery ward. I had no idea how to do anything. And so she like said my name, and I like in the midst of this like boner-induced bloodlust anxiety like frenzy I was in, I didn't hear what she said, even though she said my name. So I looked at her and I said, "What?" And then she kissed me. and it was like the most strange, wet, dry, weird face push. Like we had no idea what we were doing, and I was like, oh yeah, and I told this story at work today with my coworkers. Is the whole reason. Not obviously in as much gratuitous detail, but so in the middle of that, I immediately after she kissed me, I was so like, oh my God, I kissed a girl, like galvanized by that like I turned my head at a sharp right angle to like look out of the window and be mysterious, and she saw me do that, and so she was like, oh, he must be, oh, he's so mysterious, oh my God, what is he thinking? So she's like, what are you thinking? And I literally, in my fucking frenzied panic, anxiety brain, I just swallowed some spit. Anxiety brain mind. The only, like, I was barely tethered to this world with my hormone raging vein, fucking obtuse now angle pants just raging. And I'm glad we didn't hit any bump because it would have been all over for everyone in that back row. But so I was looking out the window and it was dark and it was drizzling rain, and the only thing I could think of, the only thing that my like 12, 13, 14-year-old brain could say was, I wonder what if... Dude, it's so awful.
Go on.
It's so hard for me to say because it's so cringy. I was like looking out the window trying to be all like sexy mysterious after I got my like first, I think it was my first or second kiss. I don't remember which one, but it felt like the first one. I like looked out the window and I was like, I wonder what a French horn would sound combined with a tuba.
Wow.
And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, me neither. And then like we didn't look at each other the rest of the thing. And then when we finally got back, like I had to walk off the bus with my trombone case in front of my front because my parents saw me. Like they would have seen me before they saw me coming. And I got in the car, and I'm pretty sure that like I passed out due to blood concentration in non-essential organs.
I wonder what a French horn would sound like combined with the tuba.
Don't say it again. You don't have. It was so cringy.
That literally sounds like that whole scenario sounds like it should have been in Napoleon Dynamite.
First, well, dude, it does have that same degree of like avant-garde, like anti-humor. Like it was so cringy, and I was so uncomfortable and so turned on by just the magnitude of everything happening that was literally like my almost schizophrenic like neuronal brain fire could throw together, which was something about a horn and what it would be like if it was combined with something else. That's like I couldn't think of like, that was amazing, was it good for you, or wow, that your first
Are
time?
you on birth control?
Exactly. Whoa, I hope we can have a talk with your parents after this.
Oh,
do you have a wedding ring?
Oh, dude.
Wow, like we kissed on the lips, and I'm like, was your tongue pierced? So,
how the people at work take that?
I thought it was funny.
Oh, good.
No, we were all sharing stories.
When was this, like at lunch, or like when do you all have time with just you all? Was this a staff meeting?
Yeah.
Did you do this in front of the kids?
No. It was just we had some downtime, and it was after lunch.
Oh, cool. I actually had a meeting today too. Did I tell you about this?
Airline food. Did we talk about this? Have I told you about this? Hey, I got new socks. Have I told you about this? It's like such a generic comedy intro. No, you haven't told me about it. Go ahead.
We talk a lot, and I tell you about my day.
I
was wondering if I told you about this.
No, I haven't heard about it. Tell me about your
I wasn't
meeting, baby.
Seinfeld transitioning.
Have we talked about this? Have you heard about this?
This was a genuine question, you ass.
I got my dick caught in the door. Have we talked about this? Have you heard about this?
So
I caught an STD from a broad downtown. Have I talked about this? Have I told you about this?
So
I was
I get a text as I get off work yesterday that everyone has to come in 30 minutes early.
The following day.
Yeah, today. So I got off work yesterday after a 10-hour day, and they're like, "Hey, everyone has to come in 30 minutes early for a meeting." at work.
Wow, that is very respectful of your time to give
No,
you
they-
so much time in advance.
They've been doing this thing. It's pissing me off. They've been doing this thing in the last hour of an 8-hour work day. So like we're supposed to be off at 4:00, and so at like 3:05 they send out a text. They're like, "Hey, we're working 10 hours today." So then we have to, instead of being done in 55 minutes, we have 2 hours and 55 minutes.
Dude, that is the like they have to know. Do they not know that at the outset of the
They
day?
do, so today it was. He said it's because we weren't getting enough done. Production was low. I had a lot more in my fish.
That's true.
Fill her up.
No. Hold on. Can we tell the side story of when we were getting prepared earlier? And
Yeah.
you, Kyle, we're drinking bag wine and play slap the bag. And Kyle he was like, "All right, brother, let me fill up your cup." And he draped the bag of wine over his arm like a napkin at a garçon, like a fancy restaurant, and was like, "All right, I'm going to fill her up." And the sight of like an amorphous amoeba blob of wine being draped over his arm like it was anything fancy, I couldn't handle it. I just could not. All right, okay, go ahead.
Be careful with that. You got it? All right.
Oh, she's pissing.
She's passing. Okay. So, they said it was because production was low today, so we had to stay. Anyway, doesn't matter.
What do you wait? Production of what? Lines on the ground? What do you mean by production? You guys aren't in production.
We are in production. We go and we do tickets, and then we go do more tickets. We weren't doing them fast enough.
What are you producing?
Profit for the company.
Oh, okay.
What you mean?
I was thinking like production is like fabrication, like you're generating a physical, permanent product.
No, just cash. Just quiche. But yeah. So he said production was too low. We need to stay 2 extra hours. It sucked. Anyway, so we got there 30 minutes early today for this safety meeting, and this organization is so, I don't want to say it's poorly ran, because I don't think it is poorly ran. It's ran just fine.
Say what you feel.
I really don't think it's poorly ran. It's just like they're going 100% by the book, like what corporate wants them to do, but at the same time they know it's bullshit. So like we get together and do these safety meetings, and like we get all 50 people there, gather around, and boss comes up and he's like, "All right, someone give me a safety topic." And someone's
Are
like,
you fucking serious?
someone's like, falling. And he's like,
That is like the most generic.
and he's like,
Shoes tied together.
so the boss is like, "All right, falling. That's a good one. How are we going to avoid falling?" And someone else is like, "We're going to watch where we step."
And this isn't in a preschool. It's for grown men.
These are exclusively grown men
Okay.
and several grown ladies.
Very nice.
Yeah. And it's not, no one's like, "Oh, this is a fucking waste of time." Everyone's like paying very close attention. Like, "Oh, all right, keep eyes on your toes. Don't trip."
Where the toes goes, I knows. Make sure you're walking but not talking.
Like, all right, and for you new fellers, it's about to be fall, so you're gonna need to pay special attention to sticks on the ground.
All right, for all you you green thumbs out there, this is your worst enemy. Holds up your common garden variety stick. It seems harmless. She's a killer.
Yeah, so that's what I went in 30 minutes early for.
That is okay. So obviously that's a huge ethical safety issue. But the thing that I love is that everyone takes it so seriously. Like, it's unplanned, it's unstructured, it doesn't have any itinerary, there's no exigent meeting, but it's like everyone's like, yeah, sticks.
It's a good point. We do need to watch where we step.
I was saying that to my pastor, and he told me, there go I, but the grace of God, it's like, and that resonated with me.
I said 5 Hail Marys, and now I'm going to heaven.
It's not even what we're talking about. Oh man, just a group of grown men just being like, "All right, boys, what do we need to worry about?" And he's like, "I got barked at by a dog." He's like, "Oh, great topic, great topic.
Keep your dog spray on you.
All right, guys, what's the worst? What's the most dangerous part of the dog?" He's like, "The ears." He's like, "Oh, that's close,
Very close.
very close."
think lower and further in front.
Very good. Now ears are for hearing, but what do they do for tasting? Their tongue. Well, you're right on the money.
You're getting closer.
You're so hot it would have bit you if it was a snake.
You know what I mean? Bitch you.
Oh my god, I didn't even catch that.
Dude, in training, they showed us a series of videos, as you can imagine. And one of them was it wasn't a dog bite video. I forgot what it was, but it was like a dealing with dogs in the workplace sort of thing. Because we literally break into people's fucking yards, and if they're like, I didn't realize how many.
What are you doing with your toes?
What do you mean?
Dude, you're doing like yoga downward dog. You're doing this like split tree pose with your toes.
You gotta stay spry, dude.
That's all. Continue.
Yeah, I didn't realize how many people's gas meters and quit looking at my toes.
Quit moving them in that alluring fashion.
What do you mean?
What a degenerate display.
Oh my god, I forgot you're a footman. All right, I didn't realize how many people's utilities were in their backyards, and also,
Where else would they be?
do you know where your utilities are?
Fuck you, I have no idea. Aren't they out in the yard somewhere?
Yes.
Okay.
Any yard but the back is the point. Your gas meter's in the front of your house, and your electric meter's over here on the side.
I'll politely ask you to not check out my house's wares.
No, dude. I know exactly where those lines are. I've already located here.
Get out of here.
No, dude. I know your yard.
Dude, your house and I are like,
I know your yard like the back of my toe.
God damn it.
Anywho, so many people have these utilities in the back of their yards, and then for some reason about half of these people have decided to fence in those yards and keep dogs back there, and it fucking sucks, dude.
That checks out.
Yeah, it sucks because we're supposed to go back there and just go into their yards and mark their shit without like knocking on their door or telling them. They're not like, hey, don't knock on their door, but they're
What
like,
gives you the ability to do that?
there's an easement, so like it's not trespassing because when you LG&E is the only company here that does electric and gas, right?
Yeah.
So they kind of have a monopoly on it. When you use their services, you are actually entering into a contract that says they have the right to come onto your property and locate your shit and read your meter and stuff. So it's not technically trespassing, but people typically, when they see you in their backyard, they don't come out and they're like, hey, do you work with LG&E? And then get irrationally angry.
Excuse me, sir or madam, what do you happen to be doing with that giant metal thing pointing in my backyard?
Yeah. It hasn't been a real problem for me yet. One lady almost got shitty with me, but then I just like politely was shitty back to her and it disarmed her. But
I would love to know what would be a script of being politely shitty.
Well, she came out. It was when I first started, and I was still trying to figure out how I was going to go about this, and I just didn't knock on her door. And now I just knock on everyone's doors first, but I didn't knock on her door.
Seems like a smart move.
Yeah, it does. But, I got to keep production up so I don't have to work those 10-hour days. Anyway, I went to her backyard and was, like, hooking into stuff.
Are you using that as a justification to not give yourself 3 seconds to knock on a door?
First of all, no one answers their door in 3 seconds. It takes them, like, a minute and a half at the least, and then it's never
right.
just.
I'm sorry for misapproximating.
And it's never just like, hey, I'm with LG&E. I'm gonna mark your shit, and they're like, yes, sir, be my guest. They're like, oh, what's going on? What do you do? What's that device? How do you mark it? Blah, 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 blah. And you got to do all this extra talk.
Do you get paid for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Yeah. But then if production's low, I got to stay 2 extra hours and do it again. So fuck you. That's my point. It
sounds very Soviet Russian. Like, oh, comrade, production is down. You must stay 3 days.
You must stay 1 eternity.
You do not go home. You live here. This is Igor. He is wife.
His wife.
He treats you very nice. He makes a mean schlemiel.
You are property of state.
That's not Russian. That's Yiddish.
Wow. Anyway, so I go into this lady's backyard. I didn't know she was a lady yet, as far as I knew.
I was gonna. You're telling the story all out of order.
Oh, you'll lose.
So there
your
I was in
brain.
the lady's yard. How did you know that? How did you know that before you went in there, Kyle?
So I'm hooking into this transformer in the backyard, and
tell me about that.
this lady comes out of the house.
No, tell me about hooking into the thing.
I took my screwdriver and thrusted it into the ground.
Okay.
You familiar with the ground?
I've heard of it.
It's got grass on it.
Okay, I've got it.
Dirt under that.
I've got it.
Couple earthworms.
Just one or two for the entire ground in the entire world.
Maybe some shit on top of the grass if there's a dog in the yard.
I have not stopped eating this entire
I'm
episode.
aware. And then I take my leads. They're called leads. It's my electrical cables. I clip one onto my screwdriver. And
Is that your ground?
that's my ground in the ground. Isn't that a coincidence?
I don't know how you can I don't know how you guys memorize all of these things.
We go over it in the safety meeting. And then
Now remember, when you thrust your screwdriver into the earth, what procedure is that called? He's like, the sky. He's like, oh, that is so close.
earthen. No. So then you take your other
Never mind.
wire and you clip it onto the transformer, because transformers are made of metal and you're sending an electrical signal through the metal, so it goes through the wire underground and you can detect it with your little
Doodle
locator
bopper.
thing, your little doodle bopper. That's how it should work, but 90% of the time it fucking doesn't.
Isn't that your whole job and it
Yes.
doesn't work?
No, literally, the job isn't locating lines. It's figuring out how you're going to get around the problems that exist in between you and locating the line. 99% of this,
Dude, what a head fake.
99% of this job is troubleshooting. It's not just, if you could just hook up to shit and it worked right, this would be the easiest job in the world. It never works right. It's like, there's like,
It almost sounds like you're in real life tech support.
yeah, that's what it is. And if I get something wrong, someone blows up. Super cool.
Like you could say a computer gets blown up with spam and malware.
You could say that. I wouldn't.
Yeah, it seems like not a flattering correlation.
No. Yeah, like for every single like different type of line to locate, there's like 4 different ways to do it, and each one of them work like 20% of the time. So, if you do that math, it's not.
I'm not doing it.
All right. There's a decent chunk left over that's impossible
Friday.
to do.
I don't do math on Fridays.
I forgot how much math you do at work.
I do, actually.
I don't believe you.
I do. Literally, like, we're a data-driven field. Everything is translated into qualitative, measurable information. I'm sorry, quantitative. Qualitative is descriptive. So, actually, I do math every day.
You what?
I do math.
All right. So I'm hooking into this transformer, right? And I just hear, "Excuse me," from behind me. And I turn around, this lady's stomping out of her house. And she was like, did you knock? And I was like, well, yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. No, I didn't knock. I said
No.
I said that.
No, I lied to this woman.
Oh, very hard. And I was like there, and she was like, oh, well, why are you in my backyard? And I was like, because they have to do some emergency digging, and if they hit this line, someone can die, so I'm trying to mark it.
So here's what I don't understand. Like, if I looked out in my side yard and I saw a person with an LG&E uniform outside of an LG&E truck digging in my yard, I'd be like, they're up to no good. Like, no, I would be like, oh, that's an LG. They're literally doing something sanctioned by the city. Like, it's none of my fucking business.
Well, the cool thing about that is I don't wear an LGE uniform. I wear a.
What do you wear? A wife beater that says "Feed me, give me wings"?
No, I wear my fancy toboggan and my red hoodie from my last job and a safety vest, a reflective safety vest.
So you look like a hobo stumbled into like a high school dodgeball varsity mesh net.
But I
game.
got this big old duffel bag full of equipment. And the fun
I'm starting to see the bigger picture now.
And the funny thing about I love doing this. Oh my god, this stresses old people out so much. Listen, so with this little, it's called a transmitter, the thing with the leads on it that you hook into stuff. And when it's actually sending out a signal, when you turn it on, like periodically every 5 seconds, it gives out a little beep. It goes beep,
Aww.
beep, and I just love walking down like a neighborhood, like going to my next spot to hook in with all this equipment, this fucking black bag with all this shit hanging out, looking like a hobo walking down the road, and these old people are just staring at me. And I've incorporated a new look now. So the beard's getting pretty bushy, and I've been wearing these big old sunglasses.
Yeah.
With this fancy toboggan, and I'm walking down, and they're just like, they're looking at me, and they're like, how are you? And I'm like, good. And just beep, beep, walking by, and I know they think I've got a bomb or something.
See, the angle I thought you were gonna play is you walk down there acting all super badass, acting mysterious, not giving any information. You're just mysterious. You pull out your fucking giant piece of mysterious equipment, and then beep, beep, and it's like this anticlimactic thing.
No, I just look like the Unabomber with a beeping bag. It's funny.
I mean, I feel like there's so many times when I've seen like LG&E people, and usually they knock and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna trim these leaves, or we're gonna check for your thing," and I'm like, "All right." And if they don't, I would just like look out and I'm like, "Oh," but you probably need a more clearly identifiable piece of clothing.
No, it's all right. I mean, I wear a big reflective vest. It doesn't say LG&E, but it says the company that I work for on it, which isn't LG&E.
Yeah.
It's something no one's ever heard of. So,
okay.
But I mean, who's up to no good messing with your electric meter or gas meter
in the middle of the day
wearing a reflective vest?
Some truly dastardly character.
Yeah, but yeah, it's always funny when people try to get shitty with me. But 10 Doobies, for those of you that know at home, 10 Doobies, he also works with me.
He's our roommate.
And the amount of time someone has started to get shitty with me, and I've been able to diffuse it with one sentence like anyone could that desires to not be in a confrontation. 10 Doobies has almost got shot. He's almost gotten into a fight several times because people will come out and they'll be like, can I help you? And he'll just be like, no. Just go back to doing what he's doing.
Can't you see I've got it?
And they're like, what are you doing? And he'll just be like, I'm allowed to be here.
This is none of your business. I paid to be here.
We have an easement. Try you. You can get your electric from someone else if you don't like.
Call the courthouse and tell them to come get me, but I'm not leaving. Oh my god! Just start with all the most defensive things to say.
It's like it takes 10 seconds to be like, I work with LG&E. I'm locating these lines, so when they like, it's the easiest thing in the world. Like the way I do it is I'm just like I make it sound like I'm doing them a favor. I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to mark these lines so when they dig, they don't hit it, and you don't have power for a few days. And they're like, oh, thank you so much. And I'm like, yeah, you betcha. This is volunteer work.
I'm an upstanding citizen.
Yeah, so it's so easy to avoid, but he's a special boy.
Yes.
Yes.
Have we talked about on here the underwear sweater night?
We're not talking about him on here.
All right.
he might listen. We'll have an episode with him. We'll disguise his voice and let him be on it.
Interview 10 Doobies?
We gotta do a couple. We got a couple people that want to be on here. We'll slowly start working some people in.
All right. Did I tell you what my new dream animal is?
Is it some bullshit?
Fuck you, first of all.
It was just a question.
Second of all, that's not how you encourage a conversation.
The reason you're so defensive is because it is some bullshit.
No,
isn't
it's not some bullshit. I'm fucking pissed that you weren't just curious about what I'd be into.
What's the animal, John?
Oh, fuck you, Kyle. I love that you're... Is it some bullshit? Actually, it's the opposite of bullshit. It is, I have been helping attend to a cancerous bunny and her life partner Walter. She has cancer.
Okay.
She has bunny cancer, and she had to have surgery on her spine.
Is that cancer related?
Just gonna assume it's one of those weird bunny maladies nobody talks about.
You got a dork spine.
got a really weird
From
spine.
all that hopping day, dude.
Dude, it's got to be hell on the tread. But so we went over there and like, dude, I laid what?
Nothing. Continue.
No, Kyle. What's your flavor text? What you got going on?
Nothing. Just was that the stuff, the bunny shit you sent me?
The stuff. That's the. Yes,
Was that bunny stuff you keep talking about?
Yo, you've been talking about buns for a while. I didn't know what it was. I thought you were opening a bakery. Yeah, that is what I'm talking about. And they are literally, they have been raised. They have been had for, that's a weird way to say.
They've been had.
They have been owned. They have been pets for like 6 years or like a very long time. And they have been acclimated to humans. They've been socialized. They've been hand trained. They're like, you can step in their enclosure and they don't like freak out. They literally will come up to you and like your hand is out and they will boop your hand to get you to give them pets. Like, and whenever you pet them bunnies, they go flat bunny style and they crouch down, their ears go back and they like close their eyes and you can rub their cheeks.
That's a really well-trained bunny, though.
Well, it is, and I have like literally I've known like half a dozen people with rabbits over my life, and none of them have been like that.
Yeah, no, most of them are pretty skittish.
They're
right?
terrified.
Yeah,
like my brother, my younger brother had 2 guinea pigs named Moofin and Poofin, and they were I know, I love that.
I love your brother.
I do too. I miss him all the time.
Dude, he would be great on here.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Anyway.
Okay, well, we're gonna talk about
He's a
that.
busy boy. He wouldn't do it.
No, dude, like I would do it tomorrow if he would be like available.
Yeah, we could spin it where he could talk about he could sell his, I mean not sell his game, but talk about the shit he's got going on, promote his stuff. You know, he doesn't need to know that we only have 2 people that listen.
That's right. Oh, dude, I love that idea. Anyway, because he's a very unique man, very, very amazing. I love my brother very much, and my older brother too. But so anyway, he had 2 guinea pigs named Moofin and Poofin, and they were.
I love your brother.
Shut the fuck. Shut the fuck. We're in an endless recursive loop, Kyle. I love your brother. Have we been here before? So anyway, he had 2 guinea pigs named Poofin and Poofin, and they were super cute, but they were terrified of everything: hands, feet, noises, smells, ghosts, and they would like run, and they were, the guinea pigs are that, and they were really cute, and then they met unfortunate ends, but
Oh no.
But anyway, yeah, they are most rodent and most animals that are kept as pets are very skittish. I mean, my birds are prey animals and they're terrified of everything. Like if they're bothering me and I want them to stop irritating, I will literally grab an object I know they haven't seen and I'll just put it close to them and they will freak out and run away from it. Because that's their defense mechanism is I don't know what that is, it's probably dangerous.
Yeah.
Had to get a rolling start. All right. Yes.
I had to warm up the engine.
Oh man, so Kyle and I went to on a trip double date tonight.
Yeah, I fifth wheeled it.
And we went to a very fancy Indiana Italiano restaurant.
What is it, John?
You can't see what I'm doing, but you know what I'm doing when I say amore.
It's amore.
It's amore. You know what I'm doing with my hand.
He's doing the thing.
You know he's doing it. And I did that multiple times. But my highlight of the night is after doing that and asking them if it's offensive to do that hand gesture. And they're like, no. And I was like, well, it was on a sign on your door because it was like, wear your mask, which is actually really offensive if you think about it. But they were like, oh, no, it's fine. And Kyle was like, oh, I bet you guys get this all the time. And she was like, actually, you're the first people who've done it tonight.
I feel like she's lying.
No, I feel like we're children. And I feel like nobody else would go to a fancy Italian restaurant and hit people with the...
That's a good point.
the fettuccine.
The fettuccine.
The fettuccine.
You want some fettuccine or some Alfredo?
I told you, that's not a fettuccine, that's a staccato. That's a linguine.
Literally everything we ordered, we did it like that.
Well, dude, my favorite part of the night is I ordered a baked ziti, and she like was getting ready to turn away, then turned back, and she was like, do you want meatballs or sausage? And I can't describe the face I made and was like, you know.
You already know. I came here to be Italian.
Don't give me sausage. I want the meatball.
Yeah, dude. I got lasagna, which it tasted really good, but it was just, I don't know what I was expecting, but it was just like a tiny little square.
Oh yeah, so we got cheese sticks to eat, and they were like gourmet
mozzarella,
gourmet milk logs. And I looked over. Kyle got lasagna that was like covered in the sauce, and he was holding one of the mozzarella the mozz cheese sticks. But it looked like he had scooped the top layer of the lasagna off and was just holding that over the rest of the lasagna like a threat to the rest of the family to not come after him. And I just died laughing. He's like, "What?" And I was like, "Dude, I could have sworn you just scooped the top layer of your lasagna
because
off."
he didn't realize it at first. He tried to chastise me for eating lasagna by hand.
Yeah, like a goddamn Neander, like a caveman.
Because unfortunately, John knows me well enough that if he sees me picking up lasagna with my bare hand, his first thought isn't, "Oh, that can't be right. What's he doing?" It's he's eating that lasagna with his bare hand.
That man is violating every cultural taboo we have.
Yeah, it was good.
It was
It was
nice.
good stuff. Yeah. 10 out of 10. 10 meatballs out of 10. I get to choose the date night next time.
Where are you taking us? Oh, yeah, you said you'll see.
No, I said Yoki.
Oh, Yoki buffet.
I feel like buffets aren't allowed to be open right now. Yeah, could you imagine like having to like them trying to enforce wearing your mask while you're
oh
walking
my
around?
God, well, everyone's coughing and sneezing all over the food.
People were coughing and sneezing there before COVID.
I know, exactly. Dude, that's like how you are like not allowed to go to a buffet unless you're sick. Let me see. Actually, I want to look
I
at
bet
the
I
website.
guarantee they're open for takeout, which I don't know who the fuck is ordering from a buffet.
Dine in, carry out, party room available.
They just haven't changed it.
Oh, no, they did. Yeah, remember because we looked like a few months ago and it said that they're Yoki Buffet opens back up for dine-in on 12/14. We're ready for you and your family holiday meals with plenty of seating available to meet CDC guidelines. That was December 23rd.
Maybe that's this year.
Oh, Kyle, that's not how time works.
Call them.
They're closed right now.
What does it say that? No,
No,
it's wrong.
it says closed now. It's wrong. It's wrong.
That's not what's on. In China, it's like daytime.
Is that really your argument?
Yeah.
The culture that this American restaurant hails from, the motherland, is not closed right now, so they must not be closed.
I think it's a good argument.
Yeah, it is. Someone with neurological damage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that. So earlier, we were talking about neurological damage because a certain one of our best friends and only podcast listener decided to choke me out and give me convulsions after I asked him not to.
It's not what
so
happened.
Kyle was talking about...
It's not what happened.
Kyle was talking about how earlier he used to... This is actually way funnier now that I think about it. Because we were talking about that, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I've been through that before." And I was like, "Oh, what happened?" He was like, "It was back in high school. I was sitting in a chair,
Elementary school,
and I went to stretch my back, and I raised my arms over my head, and I
yawned,
passed,
and yawned,
and yawned. I'm sorry, and I passed out and slammed my head into the table, dead guy style."
Yeah. Like 3
That's
times.
called orthostatic hypotension. It's when the blood literally rushes to your head and you have a whiteout.
Yep. I did that like 3 separate times.
Dude, I used to do that in school, and it used to freak me out.
Why'd you keep doing it?
I just forgot every time.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
what
this
I
is
did.
such an uncomfortable feeling. It starts, and it's like this wave of
Yeah.
tingly needles, and then it goes over to your eyes, and you like see white and like these weird psychedelic, like dull psychedelic spots that like take over your visual field.
Maybe that's why I like acid.
I think you like acid because you wish to commune with a reality that is much less mundane than our current one.
Yeah.
you want some?
Yeah, dude. Every time I would do it, like, as soon as I hit the point of no return, I'd remember that's not something I should do.
The point of nowhere. Oh no! Oh shit!
Thump.
I'm fine.
Yeah. I did that a couple times in high school, and then one time, I'm sorry, elementary school. One time, when I was living in basically a frat house that wasn't a frat. It was real fun. First Street house.
I remember.
I had first started getting into working out, and I worked out really hard that day. Hadn't eaten anything that day. Was super dehydrated, and I was eating my first meal of the day at like 10 p.m. and like I was just going way too hard because I didn't know what my limit was, and I found it that night. So
Put your fucking mic into your face.
So I went and I made the chicken, and I was sitting at the table. And one of my best mates came down, and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And he was like, "You look kind of pale." And I was like, "Oh, I'm just hungry." And I was like,
got the hunger paleness, like a vampire.
I was like, "I just need some chicken."
I need life-giving, melanin-restoring chicken.
You know, it'd be a big help if you made me a protein shake.
Yo, dude, you want to help a bro out?
Dude, yo, load me up some plates on the squat rack real quick.
Some plates. That's good wordplay.
Anyway, so I was eating the chicken, and then the next thing I knew, I was coming to with him smacking my face, yelling at me because I. Apparently, in his words, I don't remember any of this because I blacked out, but I slumped over. I was sitting in a chair. I slumped over, somehow slinkied backwards, fell onto my side. If you can imagine, like, my head was on the ground on one side of the chair, and my feet were on the ground on the other side of the chair, and bounced with my back arched, like, upside down, and then fell on my head. Up against a wall, too. It was like the worst case scenario. And he said he thought he just watched me die.
Just watch the soul leave the body.
Yeah, and like, you know how people talk about like a near-death experience? Like they black out and they see some profound shit. It was just black. There's nothing there.
I think it happened so fast that your pineal gland didn't have a chance. What am I trying to say?
Pineal gland.
Thank you. Didn't have a chance to release the DMT.
No, I just don't think there's anything there.
I agree. So anyway, dude, have I told you about the time that we used to like not choke each other out, but like you know, you do that thing where you cross your arms, and you know what I'm talking about. Well, let me explain it so the people.
You asked a question and I answered.
Oh my gosh, you're such a cocksucker.
What a comedic. Oh, you remember the time?
No, I was being. No, what I'm saying is.
Doesn't that feel good?
When I. You sassy bitch. I remember being, you sassy bitch. I don't know why.
You cunt.
I remember I had these friends, and they were like, dude, we're going to do this cool thing. And I was like, what is it? And they were like, so what you're going to do is you're going to cross your arms across your chest, and you're going to take 3 really deep breaths. And then when your last breath, you're going to push out with all of your air and leave it empty. And then we're going to push you up against a hard surface and hold you there, effectively cutting off the oxygen supply to your brain, and you're going to pass out. And I was like, okay. And so my friends did it first because I was, I would never want to do that. And I didn't know about like hypoxia and brain losing, like potential brain damage from that. And so I remember doing it, and like I remember my buddy like talking me through it, and then did it, and like, dude, I must have had a near-death experience because I did have visuals, and like basically what I saw was like those time lapses that like photographers will take on like a mountainside, and it like shows the stars and like everything like zoom by really quickly. It was like that, but it was like this beautiful forested hillside from like a low angle looking up, but the thing like the trees were silhouetted. And it like life went through like it was like green and bright, and then it like died, and then it like came back, and then like it was fall, and then it was winter, and then it was spring again. And it was like all of that happened in like the blink of an eye, but it felt like like I was witnessing forever. And then like the next thing I remember is my buddy like slapping me in the face and being like, "Bro, how was it?" And I was like, oh man, I don't even.
Yeah, I think you did, because I think that's actually like a form of meditation.
What?
Yeah, that it's. I don't know if you'd call it meditation. I'll show you after this, but I forgot. I think they call it like breath work or something, but it's like how you breathe a certain way and it releases DMT.
Oh, I have seen. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's like
okay.
30 rounds of like intense breathing and shit, and there's like a specific way to do it, and like it kind of sounds like what happened to you.
Well, I'm glad I didn't permanently damage my brain.
I think your brain's a lot more resilient than you give it credit for.
Oxygen is very necessary.
It is, but losing it for literally less than 1 second doesn't.
Well, but the problem was when I asked them how long I was out, because like some people were out for 5, sometimes it's like takes up to 15 or 20 seconds for somebody to come back, and they were like, I think it was like 10 or 15 seconds.
That's you ever jump in water and go under for 10 or 15 seconds?
Yeah.
And you come up and you're like, oh my God, my brain's damaged. Because I wasn't breathing down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not breathing and cutting off oxygen to the brain are two different things.
Oh, yeah?
Because the brain has a current oxygen supply. That's why you don't lose consciousness.
I think so. You're saying when you cut off oxygen from the brain, you're out for 10 or 15 seconds.
Yeah, your brain shuts down to reserve energy and resources.
It's fine.
You're just like, what ifs?
It's fine.
Well, we didn't get to talk about Mars today.
Fuck!
You didn't even want to talk about Mars. You had an hour and 6 minutes to bring that up.
I did. I just forgot I did.
Oh, I guess you didn't want to. Well, thank you so much for joining us on a very, very disorganized season 2, episode 3. I was about to be like season 5.
Episode 47.
Of Savage Discourse. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you like what you heard, please leave us a subby or a likey or a commenty. And if you're any of the people who are out there supporting us and listening to us, hi. Thank you. That's so sweet.
Appreciate it.
Love you guys.
You the best, man.
Singular.
In North Carolina.
You know who you are.
Love you.
Oh, no, we got some new viewers last time. Remember one of our mutual friends?
Oh, yeah.
So thank you, friends local and afar. You are the reason we do this. We love you. We hope you got some giggles.
The friend who boos at the moon.
You said we weren't going to talk about Mr. Doobs.
I wasn't.
Okay.
I was talking about Mrs. Doobs.
Miss Doobet. Anyway, we love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Whoa.
Oh.